Cricket Buzz at Stumps, Adam Collins and Harsha Bhogle. Australia needed to take time out of the game today. They were aided through rain and bad light. That reading on the radar that they always get for bad light early in a test match, Harsha, they weren't able to overcome it. It's still fairly bright now, but they had no chance of getting on.
I've heard of many ways that Australia have used over the years to deny a win. Mostly it was they were called Hayden, Gilchrist, Ponting, McGrath, Vaughan, War, whatever. There must be a few more wars coming along. But rain and bad light in Australia, I have a theory on that. I know that the ICC rules bind the umpires almost. There are 3 very good umpires here, but they have to take a light meter reading when they go off. And if the light meter reading is below that, you cannot come on to play, even if the umpires actually think, you know what, maybe we can play here. So when I went downstairs, it certainly seemed bright enough to play, but there was a first hint of a second on the third shadow coming along, and that means the artificial lights are taking over. But it's a bit of a shame. I mean, Test cricket requires us to play as much as possible, get as many people into the game. Sunday morning in India, where Test cricket is under threat and we weren't playing.
Harsha, there is a solution. It's using the pink ball. Now, I've got an idea for you. I haven't primed you for this. I'm just going to get your gut reaction. In modern cricket, in modern test match cricket, we've been adaptable. The way 2020 cricket has influenced our game in so many ways. We need to be nimble, need to think on our feet if we love test cricket.
Loving the build-up.
Can you see a scenario where an umpire can say at 4:30, you know what, the red ball's no good. The artificial light has taken over. Let's get the pink one out of the box, have a comparable amount of overs and use that until the close of play. Surely, we put man on the moon several times. Surely this can be a way through this problem.
You rehearsed that, didn't you? You were ready for that. I can tell. There was so much feeling in what you were saying. Come on, let's go. What a great idea.
I'm about to write about it.
There you go. You know, if we can approximate the pink ball to the red ball and say, here's a red ball that's 45 overs old.
Yep.
Here's a pink ball that's 45 overs old. It will behave almost similarly. Come, let's put it out. Maybe the longer term, if you don't want to worry about light at all, you just get into colored clothing, get a pink ball and play. I know that you can't do it on the subcontinent because it's a winter sport, dew will come in, but in Australia, in New Zealand, in South Africa, it is inevitable that we will move towards day-night cricket, and the faster we embrace it, the better. I know that on this tour, India didn't want to be caught napping and lose a test match because they weren't certain, but there is no doubt in my mind that that is the future. I mean, here we are, the series to be won and we're not playing.
Yeah, it feels like an endorsement of my idea, so I'm going to take that back and say the great Harsha Bhogle is backing my idea, and I agree, it should be balls of a comparable amount of time, and go back to the red one in the morning, just so we can get more play, because I think everyone watching this blog, Harsha, wants to see a result tomorrow, or if you're an Australian, you want to see a gutsy draw. But from an Indian perspective, you want to win 3-1, don't you? And that requires taking 10 Australian wickets, and they've had a session loss tonight.
I will tell you one thing in your favour, though. When you're playing in England, all of a sudden, there's a cloud cover. The ball starts doing things, conditions are very different. Tomorrow morning, it's bright, conditions are different. We accept those as natural variables in test match cricket. Maybe the time has come to accept that the ball is a natural variable in our game as well. If we can't play with one, let's play with the other. The question is of white clothing and pink ball. It should be all right, shouldn't it?
It works. We've had it before. Well, we need to change the sight screen as well. But again, we can overcome these problems, I have no doubt. Harsha, we did get 2 hours of cricket today. The last 4 wickets that India acquired, they took relatively easily. It took most of the session because of a nagging 10th wicket partnership. But Kuldeep Yadav, a 5-wicket haul, his first away from home, or indeed his first against Australia. His debut against Australia back in 2017. He was brilliant then in Dharamshala. He was even better here. A couple of those wrong-uns. He's just got such confidence the way he delivers them. I love watching him bowl.
I liked what you said, the nagging 10th wicket partnership. What the nagging 10th wicket partnership told me was, even on the 4th day, this was still not a difficult track to bat on. This was still, the ball wasn't hitting the deck and doing all kinds of things. We say in India that it's the spitting cobras coming up at you on the 4th day. It wasn't like that at all. Hazelwood was batting all right. Cummins didn't bat long today, but Cummins batted for a while. Lyon was the only one who went away early. Stark batted long enough. So yeah, the ball wasn't doing that much, but Kuldeep was good fun to watch, wasn't he? Just tossing it up. For me, the funniest moment, well, in a way, the most poignant emotional moment came when Mark Howard is interviewing Kuldeep Yadav at the end. And he said, yes, I'm very happy. I never dreamt I'd come to Australia and pick up 5 in an innings. And he said, I'm so happy to have done it in front of my idol. He said, I know Shane Warne is sitting in the commentary box, and to take 5 wickets in front of Shane Warne. And then I'm sitting in the commentary box. Shane Warne is sitting next to me, and he's like a child. He's beaming like a child. And I thought to myself, he's taken 708 wickets. He's done everything. And Shane Warne is, I'm Shane Warne. And here was Shane Warne with a little tender moment, and you could see he was so moved. So I just thought that that was a wonderful moment. And he told us a story on air. He said he asked Kuldeep, "What did you do last night?" And he said, "I went back and watched your YouTube videos to see if my run-up is coming at the same angle as yours."
Beautiful moment,
Yeah,
of course.
lovely moment.
The ground where Shane Warne made his debut against India back in
and
January 1992 and finished it here as well in January 2007. So some nice synergy there. We also saw Peter Handscomb removed early. Cummins, one that went underground. That wasn't ideal. But I wanted to actually ask you about Nathan Lyon's dismissal, Harsha. They chose not to review. They chose not to go upstairs. Not the first time this series where Australia haven't used a review where it would have been to their benefit. Is that something about the mindset that we need to consider too, as well as the decision-making process?
You know, it was a strange one. At that point, we did not know what ball tracker would show you. Now, if it has hit full on the toe,
No concerns.
then you have no problem, provided it's hitting in line. But we did notice that it didn't quite hit straight on the toe. It landed on the ground just in front. That means ball tracker comes in. You have 2 reviews. You need to bat time. You want the series to be 2-1, not 3-1. I just wonder whether Australia in their mind are saying, "Come on, let's move on. Let's move on." I know it'd be very un-Aussie. I've been coming here so many years. I didn't think I'd ever say that. But it did surprise a lot of us that Nathan Lyon didn't take the review.
But to be perfectly fair to Nathan Lyon, Peter Handscomb said at the post-play press conference that Lyon thought it hit him on the full. So, these things go up and down, but it is one of those things that in time, I'm sure we'll get more scientific about the way we like to use DRS.
But to be fair, if he thinks it was full, then he's done the right thing by saying, "Look, that's there for the howler. It's hit me on the full. Let me go off." But I know a lot of people would have reviewed that.
Let's cast forward to tomorrow. Australia require 322 runs to make India bat again. I can't see that happening. Or they can bat what will be 6.5 hours for a magical draw. India, on the other hand, some not quite tired bowlers, I wouldn't have thought, due to the amount of time taken out of the day. Very little work today, but there's a massive prize on the line. Can they win 3-1 in Australia, as England did in 10-11, and go away with the trophy with such an emphatic victory?
If anybody says he's tired on a day that India can beat Australia and Australia 3-1, then I want to examine him. Bumrah will come running in all day. Shami will come running in all day. India want to make it 3-1. When I first started to come here, if you had told me that India is going to win a series in Australia, I'd have said, no, it's too tough. Now these young men have the opportunity to create history. They will want to be out on the ground straight away. I just hope that light meter reading, because the forecast for tomorrow is cloudy. It's not for rain. But today, guess what? I learned something else about Australia. The radar said no rain.
Yeah.
Aussie radar was wrong. I never thought I'd see that day, but it just kept dripping. Now I hope that doesn't happen tomorrow. When you win a series overseas, you don't want to win it sitting there. Much like I think when England won against Australia in the Ashes 2005, someone just came and took out the bells. You don't want that to happen.
You've been here enough times, Harsha, to know never trust the rain radar in Australia. It could be a magical day for India cricket tomorrow, provided the rain does stay away and the sunlight does come through. We'll of course be here to document it for Crick Buzz at Stumps afterwards with Harsha Bhogle and Adam Collins.
Okay.